Guys, if you have already watched the parts 1 and 2 of the Finland series, then you might as well be aware that Finland runs tuition-free programs in their universities. But I bring you sad news. So, one of the latest news from YLE News, which happens to be one of the trusted news plugs in Finland, has published this information, and it reads: Finland to introduce full tuition and application fee for non-EU, non-EEA students. Now, when you read further, it goes on to say that Finland's government is preparing to change the law regarding tuition fees for non-EU and non-EEA students. So which means that if you are not from an European country, or probably you are from Africa, then you might be affected. So the proposed reform of the Universities Act and the Universities of Applied Sciences Act means the tuition fees paid by students coming to Finland from outside the EU and EEA must cover the full cost of their education. The change would also see the introduction of an application fee for such students. Now, the new rules would apply to degree programs where instruction is given in language other than Finnish or Swedish. So if you are taking a degree course that is structured in English, then you are also going to be affected. So what it means is that if you are going to take a postgraduate course like a PhD in Finland, what they are saying is that the government is now considering students to pay the full tuition cost. Now, when you read further, you understand why they want to introduce this. It says here that a survey published last year found that nearly half of foreign students plan to leave Finland after graduating. And I'm like, what? Is this even possible? Is this true? I'm beginning to doubt it. But this is what they say that their survey found. Who are we to question it? But I don't understand why students would want to leave after graduating. It's the first time I'm hearing this, actually. But this is what the outcome of their survey told them, which is why they decided to make such a decision. Now, when you read on further, it goes on to tell you what time they are expecting to bring about the change. So it says here that the government has yet to send the bill to Parliament for approval, but aims to bring it into force by next October, which is October 2024. But regulation regarding the application fee would only become effective from August 2025 due to the application period. So, which means that those who are yet to apply are going to be charged application fees as well as pay for the full tuition fee. So guys, now this is heartbreaking. But the good news here is that if you are planning to take a vocational training, then this rule or this new proposal is not going to affect you. So what it means is that if you are planning to undertake courses in their vocational training institutions, you are not going to be affected. When I spoke to my friend, we spoke about the two main websites that you can find these vocational training programs listed, and these are Vemia and Riveria. So these are institutions actually. So let's take a look at Riveria. So if you want to undertake a vocational training, you might want to start looking at it now. If you have not already, then I will help you to go through that. Now let's take a look at Riveria. It's very easy for me, Riveria, Finland. So when you come to the website, then you'll find studies in English or with English start. Now some of the courses are strictly in English throughout, whereas some of them you start in English and then you finish off in Finnish. So your certificate will be in Finnish language. I find that when you get the opportunity to study the Finnish language as mentioned in my previous video, you should take that opportunity out, because when you know the language and you finish the school, you will be able to find very, very useful opportunities in Finland if you decide to stay in, unless you're planning to move out after you finished. Even with that, people have stayed in Finland without having to necessarily study the language, and they have made it. So if you want to stay in there, if that is what you want to achieve, maybe you want to stay there for a while, gather some more experience before you move out, then I would say that study the Finnish language, and then make yourself a lot more, open up yourself to bigger opportunities over there. So now they also say that the next application will be open from 29th of August to the 11th of September this year. Training programs to be applied for will be specified later. Now when you come down here, they have programs in cleaning and property services. They also have programs in food production or baker confectioner. They also have programs in mechanical engineering and production technology, programs in restaurants and catering services or cook. They also have programs in restaurants and catering services or cook. Yeah. They also have programs in social and healthcare or practical nurse. Then when you move on to the second page, they have two other programs listed here: social and healthcare or practical nurse. So now let us choose this program. Say you want to do cleaning and property services. Now you click on that, and then it will tell you, now this program is actually run in both languages. You start off in English language and you finish off in Finnish. Now it will tell you here that apply period is coming later, but the start date is going to be on the 5th of September this year. And mode of studying is in English, contact teaching, and the classes will be held during daytime from Monday to Friday, I mean, you can see that for yourself. The type of qualification that you'll be having after this program is ended is a vocational upper secondary qualification. Now, if you read here, it says that start your studies in English and proceed to the vocational qualification in cleaning and property services in Finnish. So just like I said earlier, you are going to start off in English and then finish off in Finnish language, and then also have your certificate in in Finnish language. Also, students should note that whatever cost of materials or housing or travel expenses that is going to be incurred is all on you. So whatever materials you need to be able to carry out all your practical trainings is all on you, even though tuition is free. Now this is a part I want to show you who can apply: language requirement, health, suitability, assessment. So who can apply? You must be at least 18 years of age. You must have high school certificate or the general school leaving certificate. You must have certificates of the International English Test Duolingo. We already mentioned Duolingo, and what they look out for is 85 points score in the Duolingo test. So you have to go onto the Duolingo website. It's a whole platform on its own. It's not on this very website. It's a whole different website on its own. So you just go online and you type Duolingo English test. You go on their official website, and then you can take some practice tests and then take the exam as well. The cost for that is $65, if my memory serves me right. But if you need a video on that, just let me know. in the comments. Please let me know in the comments if you need a video on how to go about the Duolingo English test. So you also must have moderate IT skills. You don't have to be an IT guru, but just some basic skills like how to use the Word or Microsoft Word, how to use Microsoft PowerPoint, and all that. Like those basic stuff, you should be able to do it. You must have good physical and mental condition to study and work in cleaning and property services. You must have enough funds for living expenses, blah 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 blah. Exactly. And then to be able to apply for the residence permit, you must be able to prove that you have enough funds in your account, and for that you need about 7,000 euros in your account to be able to apply for the residence permit. Now let's go on to the language requirement. I think I already mentioned that 85 points in Duolingo test. Now the suitability assessment is the part I really want you to take note. So it tells you to take Duolingo English test. They will not accept any other tests apart from Duolingo English test. And then also they want you, but one thing about the Duolingo English test is that if you have had instructions or you have taken courses in English language, trust me, you won't find it difficult at all. I think the Duolingo English test is basically to help people that do not know English at all to study English. But those who have had the basics of English, that will be a very, very easy course for you to take. So don't be frightened. IELTS is more difficult. Trust me. Now, you must also record a maximum 2 minutes video where you answer the following questions: what your expectations are for the training, why you would like to study in this training, what kind of challenges you might have in studying and living abroad, what kind of job, and where do you dream of after the studies. Let me know in the comment section if you need a tutorial on how to do the 2 minutes video. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a video on how you can do this 2-minute video summarizing your expectations, why you would like to study in the training, what kind of challenges you envision, and what kind of job or where you dream of after the studies. Let me know if you need a tutorial on that in the comment section. I'll be happy to do that for you. Now, you also must attach certificates of your previous education and employment, as well as Duolingo English certificate, test certificate to the application. If you do not have a certificate from your employment, you might just attach a reference letter. That would do. So for the selection criteria, applicants will be interviewed, or the applicants who are to be interviewed will be selected based on your application, your English test, and the motivation video that you attached. Now, the interviews will be organized online via Microsoft Teams. So if you don't know how to use Teams, then you might as well want to start familiarizing yourself with the platform. It's actually easy, it's not difficult. So the students will be selected on the basis of the interview. So whatever the outcome will be from the interview, then you will be chosen. But mind you, the selection, they select about just 20 to 25 people. So out of the about 500 applicants, it's only going to be about 20 to 25 people who will be selected at a time. So you see that it's just a handful of people who are going to be chosen. So it's highly competitive. So if you are preparing yourself, prepare very, very adequately. Make sure you are fully prepared. You know what you're about before you put in the application. Also, the schedule that you see here applies to those who have already done, who are about to start on the 5th of September 2024 that I mentioned earlier here. on the 5th of September 2024. So those ones are the ones that have already been selected. Now, unlike the cleaning training, when you are doing trainings like the social health and social care, where you become a practical nurse, that one, the selection criteria is in 2 phases. So when you go to the suitability assessment and you scroll down here, you find that the student selection says the student selection includes 2 stages. So you have to take an online aptitude test, and then if you are selected, you move on to do the online interview. So this is slightly different from the cleaning one, where you're only selected for the interview based on your application, your motivation video, as well as your English test. But with the practical nurse training, it's in 2 phases, as you rightly saw. So guys, this is what I have for you today. Thank you for watching this video. I'll end this video here and continue some other time. But let me know in the comment section what you want to know, and I'll be happy to do it for you. Do subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share for others to also benefit. See you in my next video. Bye.